Hey, you guys. Okay, so this is day one, drawing one. And I think that the most important part about drawing is that it's supposed to be fun. Okay, so with that in mind, look, we got this like fun yellow, the art of Ratatouille by Pixar. I want to show you guys some stuff that I think is great. Just a tiny little bit. Okay, so a lot of this stuff that you see here is gonna be by Carter Goodrich, and I just think his drawings are so much fun. Look at this. So today, what we're primarily talking about is we're primarily talking about mark making. Okay, all of these characters were all designed by this one guy, Carter Goodrich. But look at these drawings. Aren't they beautiful? Look at him in here. And they made this super fun movie. Look at this drawing of the refrigerator. I think, let me see it. Oh, sorry. Here. I love that. Look at that drawing of the refrigerator. It's such a cool drawing with the sideways and this house in here. Oh my God, and the bicycle. So, yeah, this drawing is lots of fun. Okay, now I can't start us off like just saying, okay, let's draw that. I have to start us off. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start us really, really basic. Okay. And I'm going to build us up, and each class I'm going to add to what we were doing in the last class. But by the end of the class, if you follow and you get into it, this kind of drawing won't be impossible. Okay. Like now this is a drawing by a great artist who's been hired by Disney. And, I can't promise you Disney quality in a really short time. This is art, it's like devotion, practice, process. But at any rate, it's so fun to look at these drawings. Okay. So one of the things that I want for you to pay attention to right now when we're looking at these drawings is the energy. Okay. So these are sketchy, fully energized drawings, right? And the basic component of all of these drawings is the mark. Okay, so watch this. If I take this thing and I bring it like way, 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 way up. Okay, so you see what you're looking at right now? All you're seeing is marks. And that's almost like musical notes. Okay, and that's where we're going to start. We're going to start out with like really, really basic musical notes. So let's get into it. I've got a bunch of other examples, but I'll show them as we go. All right. So I'm going to start out with a big old chunk of paper. Here we go. And okay. So first kind of marks that we're going to work with is we're going to work with what's called C, S, and I. Okay, it's really basic breakdown, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a C, it's the S, and it's the I. So it's speculated that that these are the only marks that you need for all drawing. Okay, and what's nice about setting up a set of rules in the beginning is that it creates for you like a pathway. It gives you an idea when you're trying to draw something. Like say I'm trying to draw a face, okay? And if I think to myself, okay, the side of the face is a C, the other side, or an I, the other side of the face is an I, the chin is like a pointed C, the top of the head is like a loose C, the top of the ear is a C, this part of the ear is an I, that's a C, top of the ear over here is a C, the bottom of the ear is a C, they're connected by an I, the tragus is a C, okay? I'm going to use two I's for the nose, like that's funny. I'm going to use two I and an I, two I's for the nose, okay? Now down here an I and an I, okay? For the mouth, I'm going to go boom, I, and then a C, okay? A C, for the eyes up here, I'm going to go a C, okay? And I'm going to use an S. Okay, and an S, and an S, an S, okay, an S. Now, I'm not expecting you to be drawing along with me right now. I'm just I'm goofing so that you guys can see how it is that those guys could be used. All right, an inverted C, a C, a C. Okay, so you see how I'm just basically focusing on a C, an S, or an I for all, like every move that I do, so I can every time I do a move, I can give it a name. Okay, so let's start though. Let's go. Here's a C. Here's a C. And I want you guys to let yourself really flow around with these things. In fact, I'm going to get rid of this guy for a second. I'm going to bring up some crappy typing paper. I'm drawing on the normal paper I draw on is cardstock, but I'm going to bring this crappy typing paper up because I want to really let it rip, you know? Okay, C, C. Okay, now. And what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to feel these shapes into my body. Okay, I want these shapes to be, I want to start to, this is my most basic toolkit, okay? And that makes it right, okay? So let's start to talk about, we're going to use those things. We're going to start some really basic drawings, okay? Let's do a basic drawing of a square. I. Okay, and I'm going to goof around with this. I'm adding to my square an overlap. Okay, notice, I don't know if you can see it, but you see how right here I didn't really touch it, and you see how right there I didn't really touch it. Now, another thing that I'm going to do is just using line, I'm going to add a sense of light. Okay, so watch this. I'm going to take this line, I'm going to go super heavy with this line right here, and super heavy with that line right there. So you see how now I've got line variety, and what I'm saying is I'm saying the light is coming from up here, and this is like this heavy shadow line, and I'm going to continue to add to it. Okay, I'm going to start to build out a sense of design with just this. So I'm going to add this one right now will look small, and then the other thing that starts to happen when I add a small one, right, if I go like this, watch. Okay, so now I've got big, medium, small. I've got line variation. I've got overlapping. Okay, so these are all really important design tools, and they're super easy and they're fun to play with. Okay, so I'm going to keep on goofing around with my squares. Medium, passing below that one. Here's another medium. This one I'm going to bring out this way. Okay, I want to add a big one back here. Here's a thing, here's a move. Okay, it's called ghosting. So what I do is, you see when I'm here, I go like this, and I do the direction of the mark, but I don't do the mark, okay? And then I hold my hand down and I do the mark, and after I ghosted through it a few times, and then I go back and I really hit it. Okay. So ghosting. So we've got ghosting, we've got the shape of the eye, we've got overlapping, and we're making this thing. And this could be the start for a layout for a city drawing, right? Like I could be designing some sort of city, and these little guys would be something that's in the distance, and these guys could be moving into the foreground. I could be being some kind of abstract artist and just like placing big, medium, small, like Mondrian. I could just be doing like some kind of boogie woogie, bebop, Broadway, baloney. Okay, here we go. Cool, cruising. Got it. Okay, let's do another drawing. All right, so here's a first exercise that I want us to start to play with. So the lines that we're using are C's, S's, and I's. Okay, and what I want you to do is I want you to take a shape over here. Like let's say I want to use 3 eyes, and I'm going to make a triangle. Okay, and then over here I'm going to make a circle, kind of an oval. Okay, and now what I want to do is I want to start trying to blend these. Okay, so over here would be, here's the triangle shape. And then I want to go now. S's and I's. Okay, and then you can take any of these. Like I could take this one and I'm going to blend it down into, here's a shape. Okay, so here's what I want you guys to be doing. Okay, and so I want to take this shape and I want to go, how do I get to this? Is that a convincing mid-tone, mid shape? Could you see me like sort of, if I was making an animation, I had to go from here to there. Could that be a viable mid shape? Maybe it's gone a little big. It's turning out to be a kind of a beautiful shape. Take this one and combine it with a circle here. Okay. Can work between any of these shapes. So this shape to that shape, what would that be like? All right. So here's another thing that we can do with shape. We can do, I'm going to call this shape subtracting. Okay. So let's say we take a shape like this. Okay, and now I'm going to subtract that from it. And now I'm left with this really beautiful shape. And I want you to think of the lines. So we're doing subtracting. Okay. So there's a triangle, a totally cool shape. Subtracting a circle from it. And I'm ending up with a shape that's the result of kind of compound thinking, almost like a compound word, you know? Little Pac-Man. So what we end up with by practicing our lines, like our lines are like our letters, and then the shapes are like our words, or if it was music, like the lines would be like the notes, and the shapes would be like a scale or something like that. A phrase may be a scale or a phrase. I don't know music that well, but and see the way that the quality of the shapes. So we've got shape blending, shape subtracting. Let's try another shape move. Here's shape adding. Like, so if I take, let's see how I added one shape to the next. Here I'm adding, and here I'm subtracting. So let's stop there with adding, subtracting, and blending. Okay.